Okay, so now we covered these things. Direct mail. Okay, probate referees, that's just kind of one of those little niches that tended to get me somewhere, because those people are also dealing with a lot of attorneys and accountants and financial planners. Um, you have probate attorneys, estate planning attorneys, accountants, tax preparers, financial planners, and like I was just saying, speaking opportunities tend to follow um, some of these connections. And I want to show you really quick how to get to the probate referee thing, because that can feel a little vague. Okay, so all I did is type in probate referees and press search, and here we have California Probate Referees Association. Their information is right online, and some of these members are still there. They're still exactly the same as like however many years ago that was, 4 or 5 years ago. And you can just get their mailing information off of here. You can call them, you can email them. It's good to take the brochure and the letter, mail it to them, and then you maybe want to follow up with a phone call in a week or two. That's a really good way to do it. And then just have a system where maybe 3-4 times a year you make some sort of contact with them. Okay, oops. Writing articles. I've done all of these things. I started writing articles for my local paper. We kind of have a small little local paper, and I just got a gig writing that. Just, it's not that hard. Usually papers are struggling right now, and so they're looking for content. So if you can provide good original content, you can usually get in the local paper. Online, I think, is really big. Go get a WordPress blog. If you don't have one, you can get one for free, and they have good SEO or search engine optimization naturally. So you even don't have to be that fancy or know very much. WordPress.com. You should start blogging, if you can, in the beginning 2 to 3 times a week, putting in the titles, the kinds of search terms that you want to be known for, okay? And that can start really making a big difference. And then having your contact, obviously your contact information. You can look for the Bar Association newsletter. Like in my area, there's a Pasadena Bar Association, and they have a monthly newsletter. And through my other networking events, primarily the Fiduciary Roundtable, I was able to I guess I ended up at a what is it, happy hour kind of mixer that this law firm was hosting, and I ran into the guy who's actually editing it, so then I can say, look, would you mind if I put 250 or 300 words in your newsletter? And he goes, no, great, we're always looking for content, just make it educational and sound smart if you can. Okay, I'm going to skip Haro because I don't want to go to the internet right now, but Active Rain, if you don't know what this is, it's sort of for real estate professionals mainly. It's sort of a mini Facebook sort of thing, but it's a collection of blogs about real estate. Every one of you should join that and be networking there, blogging, commenting on other people's blogs, writing blogs. There's groups you can join or form. I'm finding that that's a pretty important place. Plus, when you blog there, they have good SEO. So when you blog, if you put your same article on your blog and then you also post it on Active Rain, you can go look, and your Active Rain blog will rank higher. You may very well be on the first page of Google because Active Rain has good SEO. Okay, there's also questions that there's forums and question and answer on Zillow, Trulia, all those real estate sites. You can check those out. And then there's online forums like Yahoo and City Data, and I am going to stop to show you that real quick. Okay, this page was just showing Pasadena Bar Association, California. Just use this to find what's in your area. Okay, city data. This is city/data.com forum. And I wonder what it looks like without that forum thing. Okay, citydata.com. I've done a little bit of writing, but people post questions and then look for questions that have your keywords or things you're interested in and start answering questions. Okay, I've actually had some interesting responses, even though I've done very little really on this site. People seem to find me and go, wait, I saw what you said to that person. I have this mobile home on land that I'm thinking of carrying paper on, blah, blah, blah. So that's something that was kind of, I didn't hear talked about a lot, but it was pretty effective for a minimal effort. And then just things like these answering sites, like I just typed in a question, what should I offer on a house? And you can see like down here, answers.yahoo.com. When people post questions, in fact, why don't you post your own question through one profile and answer it on another? You know what I mean? You can get people, if you're trying to rank for certain, let's say a long tail, like, how do I sell my note, or what's the discounted note business, or why is there a discount on my note? You post a question on these points, they rank. You could see it was first page on Google, yahoo.com, answering questions, and then you answer the question and you become the expert in some of those ways. Okay, I was going to show you help a reporter out. Now, this is something that I'm not going to go back right now. Haro, help a reporter out. Just Google that, because that's a good thing to sign up for, because what happens is all these people who need to write stories, they're freelancers or whatever, they need to provide a lot of content for their blog, for their magazine, for their TV, for their radio, for their internet radio. And so instead of doing a lot of research trying to find you, increasingly they're lazy because we're all trying to get them to notice us. So help a reporter out. If you sign up for that, you'll get emails, 1 or 2 a day, where they'll say, here's all the media requests. And so every day I'll check that to see if anyone's trying to interview an expert that has anything to do with anything that I know anything about, with which owner financing, notes, those kind of things. Okay. All right, so I'm just going to go over a few questions that were emailed to me during the week. Okay, this is a question. What would be a fair price? Would you charge more for a commercial note appraisal versus a residential note appraisal? My answer is, for my attorney clients, I just have a flat fee for appraisals, $350. And part of that is most of the time the appraisals are not being done, as I said, because they want to sell the note. It's being, and you usually, because they ask you to fill in the gaps with so many things, and you never really have everything you need to properly really evaluate what that note is worth, it doesn't really take as long as you would think. Like, if you're really doing a commercial note, just like if you're buying a commercial property, they're a lot more involved, and it takes a lot more time and a lot more expertise to buy a commercial property than a residential property. It's the same with notes. But since I'm never really provided all the information to dig through and torment myself with, I just charge a flat fee. Now, if you had a chance to take a look at that old brochure that I started with a few years ago, I actually did have a price structure that had minimums and maximums. I don't know if I had maximums on there, but I had a minimum of $250, and I had a percentage of the value of the note, something like that. And I probably would, if I had to do all the work to really, really determine what a note was worth because they were planning on selling it, I would probably charge more than $350 on a commercial note. It would depend on the size of it, but it's really up to you. It's like you're making it up. You're listening to me because I've had some success and I've done this, but I don't have the corner on the market. You might figure out something that works better for you and is more effective, and then you can teach a class once you get some experience. Okay, question. Somewhere you mentioned something about not being certified. I found that interesting, and you mentioned no one has asked about it. I know with property appraisals, being licensed and certified is a big deal. Why is it different, and why does it not apply to note appraisals? Okay. The note business is not recognized as a typical or common profession. I mean, really, most of us found out about it by going to seminars or investment clubs or direct marketing. Somebody sold it to us and let us know that there was such a thing as a note business, and we're like, whoa, what is that? Most people have no idea what the note business is, even attorneys. The note business is less organized and less professional on every level, for better or worse. The worse is, God, it would be nice if there was more professionalism in our industry. There's a lot of people having very, very poor business practices that reflects very poorly on our profession. The better is there's less regulation. And so there are no professional standards or licensing requirements or certifications for any of it. Your personal branding and market positioning is what will sell you to your clients. When you network, write, speak, this equals you're the automatic expert if you do it halfway decently. And like I was telling you, I mean, this whole certification thing, if that makes you feel better, I could go down to the store and buy this thing and say, you are certified because you've taken my class, and I'm behind you if you run into questions or whatever. But it's just me making it up. There's nothing that's been created and not likely to in the near future. Okay, do you have to have a license to be a note broker? The answer, okay, not usually. In most states, there are no licensing requirements for brokering notes. Not that there maybe shouldn't be, because there's a lot of crazy nuts out there trying to say they're really official at this whole thing. But you have to check with your state. Excuse me. In California, where I am, if you call the California Association of Realtors legal hotline and you ask, they're going to say that if you buy and sell more than 8 notes, you should technically have a real estate broker's license. But I have to say that I've heard very reputable person that I respect a lot say there is plenty of support for finders in the California Business and Profession Code. So if you think you're going to get into it full time, that's actually why I went ahead and 6 years ago got my real estate license, and then 4 years ago got my broker's license, because hey, in California it's just covering my bases and making me look a little more professional. I'm a member of the National Association of Realtors, so everyone assumes that perhaps I'm professional. Perhaps I might have some sort of ethical standard that I hold myself to. So number one, yeah, it's kind of CYA, covering your self. Self starts with A. Did you know that? And just that makes me look better. For me, that's what works. But most people don't get hung up on licensing. Just start doing the business. Okay? And I don't think that you're going to run out and sell 8 notes in California like right now. Okay? That would be, you're doing really, really well. Just get busy. Don't get hung up on the licensing and all that. Okay, question. Do you think it's okay to position yourself as a note appraiser if you are new to the business of notes? No, never do that. No, exactly. Yes. It's a great way to establish yourself after you have a basic level of competence and understanding of the business. Just say you're it. I don't know if you watch The Matrix, but just when Neo finally decides that he's the one, well, he just decided. He finally decided, I'm the one. So when you decide that you are. And it's a great way to establish yourself as an expert to other professionals for that B2B cultivation. And I'm here to help you if you ever feel like you're in over your head, like you're like, oh my God, I don't know what I've got myself into. Can you help me with this? We'll definitely work something out. And remember my story? I went down to do a presentation in front of 50 professionals, and I had only worked on a handful of notes. I mean, sometimes you just shoot from the hip, you know?